I'm live right now. Are we live, babies? Babies. I think we are. Babies. Oh. 1 second. Yes, I think we are live. Perfect. What's happening, my guys? Welcome back. Good to see you all. Welcome back on a beautiful Monday. It's the 30th of March. We are entering the end of the quarter. I had an incredible weekend. I had some time off here. Went to an island. Super nice. Just guys, I came back like at least what 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. Okay, taxi just dropped me off here. We did a lot of work already. We know exactly what we're doing here, what we're looking for today. So we're gonna keep you guys updated here. Let me know if you guys are live, if everything is working correctly, so we can get the party started here. Who was aware of that limit order Friday? Let me know. That limit order Friday at 53, the 53s, baby. At the end of the stream, if you pay attention, we keep repeating this over and over again here. That 53 level, all right? That 53 level. You guys are fully aware of that level right here. Let me know. Yeah, we have to go over this right here in a second. We'll go over that, okay? The 53 was the bottom. The bottom, the 4553. Yes, we're going to go over this as well here. Good to have you all back. Let me see if the chat is working on the screen. Why is it not working here? Let me know what's happening with the numbers, the views. The views are off as well on YouTube. 56 likes and 14 people watching. That's not correct. It's a YouTube thing. It's a YouTube thing. That's what's happening here. All right, Christopher, good to see you, my friend. Welcome back to the streams. We have a big week ahead of us here. Otakuan, my man, good to see you. Anton, good to see you. SL Master, my friend. Daniel Berger. Xavier says, nope, I missed out, but that's all right. Market endless opportunities. That's correct. That's correct. Massive congrats to everyone that caught the trade. Yeah, we'll cover this. We knew it was a very important level, right, guys? We talked about this already. The 53s right here. The 53, the 4553. We'll talk about it in a second here, okay? It's time for some music. What do you guys think? Let's get the party started. Looking forward to talk about what I've done this weekend. Had some fun, man. And yeah, this is the trading life, the trading lifestyle. Let's get the party started. Okay, yes, sir. Welcome back. Yes, sir. Welcome back, baby. Good to see you all. Woo. One more time. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the live streams here where I will give you guys some market updates where we do this together as a group, as a team. We are all allies here. We're here to make each other better. All right. So any ego or selfish orientated people in the chat, I usually don't ban them. Okay. I think we surpassed the stage. I think you guys are fully in control of what's happening here in the chat anyways. No need to moderate a lot of things here. All right. Let's go with the flow and let's make sure that you guys are fully aware and updated about what's happening here. I had a fantastic weekend, man. A really nice weekend. I went to an island. Super nice. Had a lot of fun here on the jet ski. Okay. Absolutely toured around the island. That was very nice. It was very good. Absolutely enjoyed it. Okay. I like to go for these weekend trips. Clearly like to go somewhere. You know what I mean? I like to go around the island. I like to explore. And then come back on a Monday super strong, trading gold the whole week. I can't wait for the week 2 though. I can't wait for the Mondays, of course. Ready to rock and roll here. Okay, absolutely. If you want to see my updates on a daily basis here, then follow me on Instagram, of course. I see we have some issues with the viewers on YouTube. I thought it was my side, but it was actually just YouTube side here. That's just definitely not the case. Here we have what, almost 100 likes, 117 likes. All right, we're getting there, guys. If you like this channel, if you like what we do on a day-to-day basis here, leading you through the market updates, okay? Besides all the, the live trading and all these things as well, we have, of course, the analysis and the breakdown. So for the guys that actually pay attention to the streams, I think you will benefit the most from the streams, okay? Because a lot of things can happen outside of the session, the New York session especially. So if you trade multiple sessions and you want to really learn how to take advantage of these really good levels and these really good opportunities, I highly recommend you to pay attention to what I say as well in terms of the analysis and breakdowns throughout the session or at the end of the session. So you know what to do when we are looking into the Asian, the London sessions the next day, even the next week, if it's something that we have to wait for. Okay, so let me see what the chat has been saying here. Let me actually go through it right now, and then we'll go to the full breakdown and analysis of gold on the higher time frame. Right, we go and start on the daily, then we move down to the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, etc. And of course, we need to understand what is the sentiment of the market like right now at the moment here. What is oil doing, right? What is the NQ doing, the dollar? We need to know what's happening in the overall market. In terms of news, we do have some news here today, right? We have Uncle Jerome, my uncle, speaking at around 10:30. Okay, we do have him speaking around 10:30. So do pay attention to this. We might see again a bit of a slower market during the open, at least during the New York Stock Exchange open. But it doesn't prohibit me from taking setups if I see something, of course. But it's something that will come, okay? Uncle Jerome will speak in around a couple hours here. He is the head of the Federal Reserve, which controls the short-term interest rates, okay? He has a lot of influence around the dollar. And therefore, of course, also always a massive impact around how gold responds to this as well, in case you're new to the understanding of Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve here, okay? Let me quickly go to some of the chat here. The Honda says, good to see you, my G, all the way from South Africa. Welcome, man. Good to see you as well. Keith says, Keith Grant, 1762. I earned 150 pounds from your last Friday setup. Down to 44.35. It was actually 44.53. And market bounced immediately. Thanks, Lorenzo. No problem, my man. This is exactly why we're here, man. This is why you are paying attention. I appreciate this. Okay, it shows that you actually listen to, the deeper insights, which I do really appreciate. So thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Okay. Are you back in Bali? Yes, I am back in Bali at this current moment here. Absolutely. I could be a moderator. Yeah, we might need some moderators in the near future as well here. Okay, definitely. As long as we're growing, like we're growing now, we definitely will need some moderators here. All right. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. Let's get to work. If you guys are already, press an A1 in the chat. Spam A1 in the chat, please. You're allowed to spam right now for a second. A yes, a 1. So I know that it's the views that are wrong and not you guys in the chat, okay? Well, that's clearly, that proves my point. Right there. Okay? Clearly. All right. Let's get to work, man. Let's get to absolutely work, and let's talk about all the scenarios of today. All right, what do we have here with the gold? We bounced, we came up higher, okay? Look at this daily candle today here. Look at how we actually came up quite aggressively. This was not really, for me, a surprise, and I will show you exactly why, okay? And especially after, of course, Friday's move, right? Where we had that massive impact. You know what people always say? And this is a lesson that you have to really take in consideration, okay? When people say price will never get there again, okay? Or price will never get back to your entry, or you missed out on the opportunity, maybe at that moment, yes. All right, but in most cases, trust me, man, and I've been there so many times, price rolls over, it comes back to a high area of interest right here, especially after an aggressive push. It fills these unfilled orders, and then it finds support, and then it makes the move right here, okay? So this is the reason why we have been talking about the 53, all right? And this came from a very strong order flow level from a Friday before the breakout right here. You could see these massive sellers right there being trapped, being stuck in their position right there, right? Price came down, it tapped into that low right there, right? It tapped into the 45, eventually around the 51, 53. Yeah, and then it found support, and it came up during the Asian session. So this is where it tapped into. It accumulated open. Actually, it was a bearish open, right? We created the bottom wick of the weekly candle, which is today. The daily candle, the weekly candle are the same, right? We tapped into that, and then we flipped bullish. And that was the trade, and then we started to come up during the remainder of the session. So this is also a trade that I took as well, myself, as we had that buy limit set right around there, okay? So let's quickly listen to what I told you guys yesterday, Friday, so we are on the same page with this. But from my side, I still have set my orders at the 4453. You might think, oh, we're not gonna get there this session. And you know, you might be right. You might be right. We might not get there this session, but I just know by default, regardless if it's Monday, this is for me a very important zone. Very, very important level on the higher time frame, the 4453, and then my stop loss at the 4408. 4453, and then my stop loss at the 4408. Okay, that was the kind of the climax right there. So what did we do? We came back to the 4453 and we went up. Okay, so this is where we talked about in terms of Goldie during the open as well. Here we set pretty much the bottom wick of the session, right? The bottom wick of the week. And now we are breaking out higher. So what is next? That is the question of this session. What are we going to do now, right? What is the next step? What are the next levels? What are the next confirmations? What is the dollar telling us? What is oil telling us? What is the overall sentiment of the market? And do we have to be worried? And this might be the biggest question right here. Do we have to be worried about the news that will come later on from Jerome Powell? That is the real question, okay? So to get to work right away, let's talk about this and let's go deeper into the Goldie chart on the higher time frame. Let's go to the weekly first, okay? And what I wanted to show you was the following, right? The fact that we closed, of course, a very strong, indecisive, relatively strong, bullish candle here on the weekly here. We had a huge breakdown and then a pretty good recovery, and we managed to close the weekly candle bullish, right? We just closed. So we opened at 4482 and we closed at 4523. Okay, so we came up slightly higher than the open, which was actually very, very good, the fact that we did that here. You know, we also know this is weekly support, right? And again, keep in mind that we tapped into weekly support today as well here. So we came and we tapped into that weekly support right here. And then, of course, we bounced from that weekly level right away, pretty much, right? And that was also another, you know, reaction or confirmation or whatever you want to call it. We just reacted from this level and then we flipped, okay? We flipped bullish. Now, from an order flow standpoint, I want to show you something on the weekly time frame. Okay, let's go here. This is the weekly candle. All right, this is where the most orders has been distributed. All right, these are all the orders of the previous week here, and you can see already how this was 874,000 contracts that were traded in this contract. The previous week, okay, 874,000 contracts on gold, okay? And what you can see is that this red box right here is where a lot of selling took place. Or you could almost say more selling than buying. So we have a negative delta, all right? And this is important, negative delta, which is market buys minus, right, market sells. So market buys, buy market minus sell market equals net market, okay? So equals net. And that means that if the equal or if it's bearish, that means there were more sellers that pressed market sell than buyers that pressed market buy. All right, how that makes sense so far? So you could see that in this box right here, in between the 4448 and the 4350, you could actually see that there were more sellers than buyers. And what happened? We closed the candle bullish. Okay, so that's very interesting. So there was more selling in previous weekly candle. In this weekly candle was more selling, but at the same time, the candle closed green. All right. How is it possible, you might ask? Well, the reason is because there was an absorption taking place, right? There were more active buy limit orders than sell market orders. So these sell markets, these sellers that were in aggressively, they got into the market quite aggressively, right? And there was a larger participant that adopted or absorbed these orders, allowing the candle to still close green. And what you have to understand on the market is that 1 + 1 equals 1. Okay? 1 + 1 equals 1 contract. One market sell and a buy limit. So aggressive right here is the market sell versus the passive, which is the the buy limit. The limit buy equals 1 contract. Okay? Equals 1 contract. All right? So even if there's more aggressive selling, it still can mean that there are more buyers in the market. Hope that makes sense here. You will get this over time, but this is what we can see today. So how does this reflect on the order flow chart or the footprint chart before we go to the actual candlestick chart here? And you can see that already by default, this box that you see right there is that red box on the weekly time frame. Okay, so isn't it interesting, guys, that is the box where we found support today? Okay, why is that so important? Well, we closed above it. So if you want to break below it, we need to break below that box. And usually what you see when there are more trapped sellers active in the previous week, we tend to formulate and utilize this as support. Okay, does this make sense so far, guys? Let me know in the chat if you get this. If not, we'll go through this over and over again over the next coming days, if not weeks ahead of us here. We'll go make sure that you understand this properly, because we will be showing this every single day, right? From the higher time frame order flow to the lower time frame order flow on gold specifically, so you understand the exact ins and outs of the distribution of how these orders were placed in the market. Okay, very important. So this acted as a major support level, and this is why my bias by default for today was already more and more bullish. Okay, this is why. All right, so yes, a green candle, great. The open was bearish. We tapped into that zone, we flipped, we turned it into support, and buyers stepped in again and took over control here. So buyers are now in control at this current moment. This weekly candle was very important for us to understand if this would be a bounce, right, a relief bounce to the upside, or if we would continue to come down, at least with a higher probability, a higher certainty. That is what we were looking for. So that is the overall idea here around the order flow, is to spot this very early and to have a clear bias for the next week. Okay, I hope this makes sense here. A lot of people ask what kind of platform this is. This is the Xau chart. Okay, you can actually see the ins and outs, the level 2 data within this. Okay, now if you go here to the daily time frame, it's kind of a mess. We all saw that it's kind of a messy situation here, right? We already understood this by default here, but if you take this to the 4 hour, right, then you can actually see that if you take the open here, let's just quickly get this open level right there. Let's just make sure that we have the sessions. There we go. We actually tapped into an demand zone, okay? A 4 hour demand zone right around there, right here, okay? This is also reflected on the candlestick chart right here. It's a 4 hour demand zone right there, and that 4 hour demand zone is a real demand zone. Okay, this one right here, right, that candle right there is a real demand zone, and the reason why is because if we go to the 4 hour, we talked about this as well. There we go. All right, the 4 hour. Let me just, there we go. Then you can see that this is actually where the sellers got trapped aggressively here. So you have a lot of trapped sellers sitting there in that candle. We had an expansion, right? So we had a rally, base, a drop, a base, and a rally. And we dropped back into that base that basing candle right around there, okay? So this is where we reacted from, and this is where the orders or buyers stepped in. This is why we said pay attention to the 4453 to be exact here. And this is on the 4 hour, and the 4 hour actually gave us a level around the 4453 perfectly right there, okay? So that is the overall idea here, the overall premises right now. So how does the next 4 hour looks like? Let's actually go over it right here as well in the order flow, and then we go to the 15-minute, and this is where we start drawing out the volume profile for the right levels for today, right? The key levels, the volume distribution, etc. here, and the actual orders. But I'm already seeing the price action is still very, very strong. It's still bullish. So we're going to talk about this in a second here. Okay. Now, what we have to pay attention to here on the 4 hour is that we have another zone right now. Okay. This is the 4570. This is pretty much at the higher time frame support. Okay. The previous 4 hour candle right here. Okay. We are already reacting from this. We are already seeing more sellers coming in and buyers taking control here. So I'm already now leaning more bullish continuation right now at this current moment here, okay? So I just wanted to talk about this right now. Let's go to the 15-minute, okay? More sellers are active or trying to push price down here. I might take a buy limit already at the 4590, but I will go over that in a second. And if not the 4590, it will be the 4575, okay? It will be one of those levels, the 4575 or the 4590. That's already two levels that I have in mind, okay, just so you guys know. And then we go to the following here. So anyways, if you look here at the 1 hour right now, then we can see right here, okay, that we're already relatively bullish right now. So overall, I don't see a reason really to short it at this current moment, okay? I'm just looking right now at the overall market. If you look at the dollar as well, the dollar is actually in resistance, okay? I think this is also an important layer. We are back at the highs. The dollar is still, I must say, right, holding up really well. There's no denying that the dollar isn't holding up tremendously well right now. But at this moment, okay, right now, we are tapping into a 4 hour resistance area, a 4 hour zone there where we will find some resistance. You can already see that the dollar is reacting to the zone at this current moment here, okay? So overall, also a very important moment right now for the dollar. And this is why potentially gold now is already kind of reacting bullish to this, okay? So if we go here back a little bit higher and we go to the 15-minute time frame, let's remove our overall order here. Let's take the dollar. Let's put it next to it right there. Okay. Then what we can do now is the following. Let's go to the 15-minute on the dollar as well. The dollar is slowing down a little bit here. It would be really nice if the dollar would break down, pull back, okay, and then actually sell off. If the dollar does something like that, we have what we call a consolidation here, a manipulation here, and an expansion here, okay? This is a typical reversal pattern on the dollar. If we could break below, right, this low right here, and then actually pull back and find resistance, right? That's one of the larger reversal plays that you see here on the dollar, okay? I hope that makes sense so far. Let me know if you guys are on the same page at this current moment before we go to the 15-minute. We start marking out our buy limits, or we start marking out our levels, and then we go from there. All right, let me know, guys, if you guys are fully aware of what we're currently have been talking about. Higher time frame, right? The order flow, and then, of course, the levels, the areas of interest, buyers being in control now at this current moment, and then potentially looking for some areas of interest for our, entries, our reactions, and all that beautiful stuff right around there, okay? That is something that we're looking for. We're not overvalued, okay? We are not overvalued right now at this current moment. We're kind of in the middle. We're hanging around here, okay? So I do think that we are we're getting very, very close here, okay? Now, in terms of the question that we see around the candles and the price level of, let's say, gold, and the the gold spot is now at 4570, okay? But the gold futures is at 4601. So you have to kind of see that there is now a 30-point difference in between that. Okay, so if you trade the gold spot, then I want you to understand there is a slight difference now in price. Okay, the premium of the futures is slightly higher. Okay, so what you can do is just to look at the candles to make sure that you understand what we're looking at, because the candles are pretty much the same. It's just that the price levels are slightly different. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. But this is something that we have been witnessing right now at the moment here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up and I'm going to mark out the volume profile, and I'm going to first look at the bottom, the low to the high. Okay, which is right here. And you can actually see that we already tapped into the 7.9 right there, okay? And if you guys are wondering, why do we utilize the volume profile? The reason why we utilize the volume profile is because right now we have an aggressive expansion to the upside. We want to measure all the volume that has been traded in this overall swing. And if you want to learn about the volume profile, you can actually read my free book right here. It is called the Swing Profile right here on page number 52. I've written a 300-page book for you, okay, that you can download. We have the swing high to the swing low, and then it gives us levels of interest where the most volume has been executed, because the volume profile shows usually where the distribution of volume took place in this swing. And therefore, when we pull back, we can kind of find our areas of interest. It's kind of like support and resistance, but it's hidden. It's not really what you see on the candlestick chart right away. It's actually what you kind of see, you know, below it here. So we have the 4, 5, 7, 9. Right there, okay? And then we have the 4, 5, 5, 9, right? The 4, 5, 6, 0 on futures, right there, okay? So I think on spot, this is roughly speaking around 4, 5, 4, 8. And then we have the 4, 5, 3, 1 or the 4, 5, 3, 2, okay? I'm just gonna do it this way. I'll just give you some updates as well about these price levels. But these are two very important areas of interest that I think are very important for us to pay attention to at this current moment. So if we manage to pull back into either the swing value area high or the swing POC here, right? The point of control, the area where in the swing the most volume has been traded, the most trades has been executed, then I will be looking at a potential reaction at any of these zones, and then I will be potentially looking for a continuation play pretty much. That's the idea. Okay, these are two levels. If we do break down and become lower, I can also use the previous day. Okay, this is the Friday range. Okay, this is the Friday range from here. Okay, from the left to the right, this is Friday. All right, so we opened up bullish, we pulled back pre-London, or sorry, pre-New York, and then we expanded, of course, during New York, and then we sold off. I think there was some profit taking at the end of the session, and then we have this area right here. And we also have a level at the 4520, okay? The previous daily value area high. Now, one more time, if you want to learn about this, you can actually read it. This is the daily volume profile right there. We just talked about it right here on page number 41 of your book. Right now, it seems that the website is offline. I don't know why something happened here, but I will make sure that this will be up latest by tomorrow again. Okay, so we'll be able to download the book for free if you want to here. No strings attached. You can get the book here and fill in your email and you get access to this book right there, okay? Which is the LTA Concepts Trading War Map, which I created. Took around 8 or 9 months to create, to be exact. 8 or 9 months to build. Yes, sir. All right. Right now, we are here. Okay, and right now we are looking at our levels right now. So we are waiting for some reaction. Okay, gold is looking pretty strong. Now, the last question I think is very important, and that is, what is the target of today? Where could potentially gold go? Because there were people that followed up with the buy limit perfectly at 4453, right? Where we talked about it, that played out perfectly. How and where, what should we target right now? Well, this takes us back to the daily, okay? And this takes us back to this box right here, which is actually the candle of the candle of Thursday, March 19th, okay? March 19th, Thursday, okay? You can see that this is where we had a huge drop, where we actually came down. We had a huge bearish candle. A lot of buyers stepped in here. They didn't follow through, okay? And then what happened was, price pulled back into it, okay? Or price is now trying to pull back into this zone. I think we're gonna find major resistance there. That's my personal opinion, which will be, of course, also this higher time frame. Let's go to this chart right here, okay? Let me just make sure that we are on the same page. Let's go to gold futures. Okay, let's go to the 12-hour time frame. Right there. Okay, right around here. It's this area of supply on the 12-hour time frame. And if you want to learn about supply and demand, also this is explained in the book as well under page number 152 onwards, actually earlier. Okay, all the details of what supply and demand is and how it works and why it's effective. Okay, so this is a major area of resistance right there, and you can also confirm that in the order flow right here on the daily time frame. It's the top wick of that candle. Okay, so if we would take this from the 12-hour to the daily, then that's the exact level, right? That's the top wick of the candle. Okay, we're gonna find major resistance there. What is that level? That is the 4664, and on spot, let me just do it as well then, right away, okay? On spot, it will probably be the 4546. The 4631. Yeah, the 4631 until the 4738. Okay? Right here. These two levels is something that I think we could trade towards to as a target in case we stay bullish for today. Okay? Regardless, at some point we will get there. That will be an area of interest. That will be a level that we cannot really neglect here. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So therefore, let's pay a lot of attention to that area. I'm gonna also mark it out on this chart here. There we go. Let me just remove this. Let me actually just step in this zone. And then we have this all set and marked out. And then let's take this back to the 15-minute time frame. So hopefully we pull back and we can actually get towards that area right here. Somewhere around there would be nice if we can get that move here. But so far, it looks pretty strong to me. Market looks pretty strong to me at the moment. We're not overvalued here against the dollar. We're actually holding up really well. So any pullback to the 4580 would be very nice. I would love to trade this if I can get into the setup right around there. Okay, so for my bias today here is bullish. We are unbalanced range or session. Right, we already broke the or we're very close to breaking the daily highs right here. So looking for continuation place for now. Okay, and if we break below the 4560, things might shift. Okay, if we do break down here, eventually I might have to correct myself and say, hey, we've broken that zone, we've broken this range. This might be a manipulation, and then we might indeed continue to pull down a bit further. Okay, to the previous daily very high or the previous daily, sorry, the swing value area low at the 4500 again. Okay, but that's nothing to worry about for now here. That is just for later. Okay, I remain bullish bias and I wait for these the right trading confirmations around this as well here. I hope you guys are fully aware of this as well. Okay, so if you guys like this analysis, G's, then I highly would recommend you or appreciate it if you could smash up the like button for me. It helps the channel grow tremendously. We've been growing, a lot, so much already. We already have 200 likes. I really appreciate this. And, just had a hectic weekend. We went to an island, was racing on the jet skis, but we rushed back home here on a Monday to make sure I was there perfectly on time maybe 5 or 10 minutes later for the New York session, right? To deliver you the freaking sauce once again. All right, I appreciate it. That's all I'm asking for you guys. And yeah, let's build an epic community, fam. Let's build an epic community. I really love you guys in the chat, because there are always people in the chat sometimes that do not understand really what the intentions are. I can guarantee you my intentions are pure, right? Which is rare in this industry. I get it. I completely get it. I've been there too. So yeah, therefore I really do appreciate you guys also looking out for each other in the chat as well here. Okay? Anyways, we're pulling back a bit right now. This is awesome. I'm looking at the 15 minutes. Yeah, we are slowing down. Like I said before, the first level might be the 4509, the 4508, somewhere around here, somewhere in this area. I'm going to pay a lot of attention to how do we react in any of these zones here. We have the 4590, sorry, which is aligned or aligns very well with the very high, the swing very high, and then we have the 4575. These are two major levels that I'm looking at right now here. On the hourly time frame, it's also pretty obvious that this is the similar level, similar reaction, similar level Sellers are coming in a bit here, which is actually not really a surprise, but I'm willing to definitely see how we react from these levels right there. And then we go from there, G's. Let's set it all up and let's wait patiently for a reaction. And then we go from there. What about that? All right. Okay. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Really, really, really nice. Amazing, 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 amazing. Ron Carter, man, welcome to the live streams. If this is your first time here, it's a pleasure to host you. Okay. Absolutely incredible. Good to have you here, my friend. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. Which island did you go to? I went to an island. It's a very small island. It's called Gili Meno. Gili Meno. Maybe you heard about it. It's close. It's in Bali. It's close. It's not that far away. It's called Gili Meno. Okay. It's very, very freaking nice. It's very nice, actually. It is very, 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 very good. Very good. A lot of beautiful things there. Very, very beautiful weather. Snorkeling. I saw turtles. I saw fish. I ate fish. You name it. The whole package. Absolutely. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. What charting platform I'm using? This is the exit charts for the order flow, and this is the regular trading view, of course, right? And we have our level set. We utilize the volume profile, and we're gonna wait for a reaction in any of these levels right here. Okay, this is what I'm waiting for right now. I'm waiting for a pullback, and then we're gonna see if buyers are still willing to protect, defend this zone. Okay, and we'll take it level by level. Okay, and we'll see how price reacts. Right now, the dollar is still holding that support. So I do see that the gold, because of that, reacts a little bit to that. Okay. And hey, listen, I'm very, very proud of you guys that you guys have been absolutely, okay, absolutely crushing it. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you guys have been also paying a lot of attention to what I actually say, right? In terms of like entries and stuff after the streams. Some guys only want the trades on the stream, and sometimes I can't give you the trades on the stream because I don't see the right confirmation or I don't see the perfect zone at that moment in the session as well. Last week was also a very strange trading week, by the way. We had an epic trade in the Tuesday, but the rest of the week was also a very strange trading week, if you might agree with me. Trader V, welcome, my man. Never trade pullbacks. Never trade pullbacks. Well, for me, pullbacks are the best ways to trade. I love freaking pullbacks. When people say it never gets there, it always gets there. It always pulls back. It always pulls back. Yeah. We talked about the 53. It was the bottom. It was actually the bottom. Okay. But we have a couple levels in mind right now, and that is the... yeah, a couple levels in mind here, okay? This is the 50, the 91, the 91. All right. The 91. And then the swing very high. So we have a couple levels in mind here. Okay, we're just gonna pay attention to this. I just have to manage my risk a little bit, of course. What I like to do sometimes in pullbacks right now, especially during uncertain market conditions or when the market is bouncing, I like to split my risk. So I like to take 2 entries. Sometimes I place 2 buy limits, unless I'm very, very certain about the level, like I was, for example, on a Friday. It's a different story, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, so this is Gili Meno, super nice, super beautiful. Very nice place, man. Absolutely love it. Absolutely amazing. So clean. So freaking clean. Oh my god. Incredible. Lorenzo, are you going to enter before the news or are you waiting for afternoons? No, if I see the setup before, I will enter before, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to wait maybe another hour and a half. That's a lot of time. A lot can happen in an hour and a half. So it all depends, of course, on the situation right here. Okay. Q Viet, welcome IG, welcome back. Yeah, need to bring your attention about some of us trading the gold. Yeah, so what I always recommend when you are trading gold on the spot chart, which is completely understandable, just understand that the candles are the same, right? So pay attention to the candles. It's a bit annoying, I get it. But yeah, the reason why I use the futures chart on the live streams especially, because I also trade on the MetaTrader sometimes, especially when I'm traveling or when I'm not streaming. It's just because the order flow, right? I just want to make sure that the levels are identical, at least from that perspective. Otherwise, it will always be calculating. You know, that's something that I don't really constantly want to do pretty much, if that makes sense. Okay? Yeah. Any more plans? Not really. Not really. No, I'm just here grinding. This is the moment to grind right now. Obviously, in the weekends, I'll take my time to go somewhere. A lot of things I can do. You know, I can fly somewhere. We can fly to whatever. I mean, weekend trips, right? Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, you name it. You have all these places we can go to in the weekend. Or if I want to go somewhere, I could also take my streaming setup with me and stream along the way. Along the way, of course. Clearly. Have you ever been interested in swing trading? Yes, of course I have. But the thing with the market right now is that everything is so freaking uncertain. From the higher time frame perspective, that anything can turn in a dime. At least that's the feeling that I have. So I rather take this right now, currently day by day, right? And just look at it from that perspective. Like, listen, day by day, week by week. And find the best levels, the best areas, the best confirmations right here, okay? All right, so if we close above the 88, then the 88 might be turning into new support, which is roughly speaking around here. Just want to make sure that we're... $88.2, 88.2, yeah, 88.3 actually, 88.3. Yeah, we're not overvalued, which is good. That's exactly what you want in an uptrend. It's kind of like momentum trading, a little bit more momentum trading, so you can be a bit more aggressive. That's the difference, right? Then in between range trading. You guys have only seen us range trading in the last couple of days of the week. Because that was the only thing that we could do pretty much, trading inside a range. What will be the levels in spot? Please mention. Yeah, it's hard to say here. We'll go over that in a second. If I find to place a limit order or I enter my buy limit or whatever, right? That's kind of the... You will see where I place it around the candle. Then I look at the spot chart as well to say what level it is. Okay? I think that's the best way moving forward if I look at something like this here. But by the way, only enter a trade if you agree with it. Okay? It's like, don't trade random, don't follow a random dude on YouTube randomly without understanding the reasoning, especially when it's about real money. Yeah, it pretty much points towards the same level here. If you have a little bit of a pullback, that would be nice. And then something like this here would be perfect. This is the end target, right? The 46667. Yeah, currently the domain is unfortunately offline for some reason. I need to check what the exact reason is, but I'll figure it out. If not today, then tomorrow you have the ebook. Come back tomorrow, you have a ebook for you ready. A 300-page book explaining all the ins and outs here. A lot of you guys, I got a lot of messages this weekend, by the way, which I really appreciate. Some guys actually messaging me, yo, I've read the book, or I went through the book and actually I took my time to read through it, and I'm truly impressed with the actual work. So I really thank you for saying this, because it's really it's something I always appreciate, of course, you know, things like that. People are willing to take their time to message me, you know, and then just yeah, say, yo, what's up? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That makes me you know, always motivated to work and etc. I will be doing it anyways, but still, I really do appreciate this. Okay. Powell may shift the whole sentiment. Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be. I'm not neglecting this whatsoever, by the way. Okay. I'm definitely not neglecting that this could indeed be the case. Yeah, can you do this something with the yeah, I'm trying to fix it with the subscriber. I need to fix I'm so not technical, man. I need to figure that out. I need to figure that out. You're right. Yo, Lorenzo, I made a lot of money from this 53 trade. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, I was very, very convinced about this level Friday. Unfortunately, we didn't get back to that level on stream. But I was definitely very, very convinced about the setup right here. Absolutely. That's why I kept my buy limit there, right? I kept my buy limit set. Because I just knew this was going to be a very important level. The 53s. Absolutely. Oh. Are you Russian, Lorenzo? No, yet. I don't know any Lorenzo that's a Russian. To be honest with you. Are there days that you stay away from taking any entries? Well, it depends on the market. Last week was really, really bad, in my opinion, from a price action standpoint. So yeah, I was not really a big fan of that for sure last week. But yeah, we had I was very happy that I still ended the week in profits, regardless of the overall market condition. I was a bit upset about missing out, by the way, on that Friday move, to be really honest with you. Because I looked back at it later and I was like, hey, you know, there were definitely some opportunities. You just have to be a bit more aggressive there. But I knew that at some point price would get back to that level. And it did. So that made it all up. What is your normalization window set up on the SVI on 50 minutes? That's 100, yeah? Yeah, let's set the limit order first at 90. 90.2. Is it 90.2? Yeah, pretty much 90.2. Oh, wait, it's not working? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just holding up really well. The dollar backing at resistance as well here. It's still holding up as always, right? You know what I find so interesting is look at the dollar, man. Look at the dollar on the daily time frame. And look at how it just has been, you know, consistently pushing up. Higher highs, higher lows. Higher time frame levels are getting respected here. And gold has had to constantly fight against the dollar strength here. Constantly, right? So in order to trade gold long, especially for longs, you need to wait for the dollar to be in some sort of resistance. Or you need to see some sort of reaction or something in that matter, right? In order to be convinced that the dollar is ready to rock and roll here. But yeah, that is the reality of what we're seeing here on the dollar right now. But anyways, I'm looking at a couple levels here. I'm looking at a limit order around, I'll do it one more time here. The 90.2, and then we have what? The 74. Yeah. 19.2. All right, 90.2. And then the 74. What kind of level is there, the 74? Well, why is this such an important level? Let me actually see that. Ah, is that small range? Okay. All right, so there's very highs in between this. So we might not, if we bounce here, we might not get there. Then we have at least that one setup. If we come down, then we have the point of control. And then I have around 50. I have enough room to see how price responds here. So yeah, I have some buy limits set here. So yeah, in case, I don't know, with spot right now, guys, people are asking about the spot price. That must then be, yeah, it's somewhere around, I don't know exactly. It's like the 4560 and the 4544, 4543. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hello, brother. I'm watching you from India. Welcome, man. Good to see you. Pixel says, I took a buy from the higher time frame range POC. 44290 P was Friday's high. WLT concepts. Wow, amazing. That's amazing. How do you define your daily buys? What is the time frame? The weekly, the daily. Okay, the weekly and the daily. And I get a lot of information around the order flow, by the way. It really helps me understand what has been happening, especially on a Monday, man. On a Monday, I already can tell very, very clearly if the Monday is probably going to be bullish or bearish. Same thing happened. It's not always, of course, right? Not all the time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect, okay? But definitely, this was a pretty clear week for me personally to understand. Okay, we respected this zone. Do you guys remember in the chat? If you guys have been watching me now for a couple days here, you guys have been watching me talking about this zone here already when we were here pretty much last week, a whole week ago. Do you guys remember that zone right there? This was the Monday last week, the opening of last week, that range. And you could see how we never broke below that, right? We never broke it. We stayed above it. We respected it. We stayed above it. We knew that there would be a level of support. We knew that there would be a level of interest. Right? And we could see the reaction in it. And eventually it did got respected. And that's why I told you guys, if we would break, we'd close a daily candle below that box, below the 44346. Yeah, then I was targeting the weekly lows. The weekly lows. Okay? Then I was targeting the weekly lows right here. So yeah, that is the kind of the key difference there. Okay. Dollar is still holding up pretty well. So let's hope that we react from our zone and we're actually respected. 2 levels. Yeah, this is the futures price. It's slightly different right now. So look at the candles. Yo, bro, I need your playlist. Yes, I told you guys, I'm still working on the playlist. Yeah, I'm still working on it. It's coming. It's coming. I have right now 80 tunes. 80 tunes, right? 80 tracks. Yes, 80 freaking tracks. We're getting closer. Yeah. Come on, baby boy. Dollar is pushing a little bit, but hopefully we can actually hold here. Yeah, and if you have to come down all the way to the range, I'll give it another shot. I think my middle entry will be in the middle, right? So I can take it all the way down towards the lows of the range, which is around 40 points. It's around $800, I think, something like that, with a target of 1600. Right, so it's at 1 to 2 pretty much. A little bit more. It just depends on the drawdown, of course, but did you know you can also use the correlation coefficient tool for the dollar? Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely. But we know we don't only look right now at the gold chart against the dollar chart. We also look at oil. We look at the 10-year yield, okay, which is dropping, by the way. It's dropping, okay. And we look at the sentiment of the Nasdaq. We look at a couple of different layers for gold here. Kind of get an understanding, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to short it, correct? No, a lot of people are trying, let's see on lower time frame. Now, there's definitely some shorting activity right now, definitely a little bit, but it's definitely predominantly still bullish. A lot more buyers right now. A lot more buyers in the market. We actually closed above it. I hope we can come down here, tap into the 90s. That would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, what's happening with the YouTube live, man? What's happening with the view count? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Ah, it's a standard issue in YouTube? Okay, okay, okay. All right, okay. Got you. Thank you. What are you targeting? Yeah, we talked about it already. We talked about that zone. The 4465, which is on spot, slightly different. It's a 30-point difference right now, right? That's the average. So it's probably 4620, something like that. Yeah. Yes, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram as well, then I'm going to start posting some epic stuff again soon. Okay? Also, I'm thinking about hiring some clippers. All right? Or anything in that matter. Collaborate with clippers. Okay? You guys know the clipping? The whole clipping thing on IG and stuff? TikTok, Facebook, you name it? YouTube? It's a big thing, man. We have streams that are killing it. So we need clips that are killing it off the streams. So we can kill it even more. You know what I mean? Let's see what we can do. Okay, if you are interested in that, message me on IG. Show me what you can do. Take something from my YouTube video. Take something from my YouTube channel. Clip it from the past, however, 15 episodes or something. Clip it, show me. And let's see if we can collaborate. Yeah, you can follow me on social media here. Lorenzo Corrado Fix. Okay? Cheers. I'm pretty sure you can start paid clipping campaigns on certain platforms. Yeah, that's another layer. But I like to work with people, you know, one-on-one or one-on-one in group format, for example. You know, we set up a Discord channel or a Discord server. We'd get you guys in Discord, okay? In a special server. And then we can discuss content, etc. You know what I mean? And then we'll discuss the ins and outs of that. But we need to make sure that you're legit and that you can actually add it, or you know how to add it properly. Or you use AI very well. And if you use AI very well, then that's also very interesting, of course, right? As long as the results are there, we can figure it out. Yo, YouTube didn't notify you're alive. I had the bell on. Yeah, I think it's all because of the issue right now on YouTube. It's a YouTube thing. Okay, we need to make sure that we're consistent. We're here. We are here. Okay. All right, sellers are coming in. Buyers are struggling a little bit here on the around this level. We can definitely see that. I think the main reason is oil holding up really well. I think this is one of the layers. I think oil looks pretty bullish still. Okay, so this might have some impact on gold right now. Dollar is slowing down though. Look at the dollar, right? Dollar is breaking, or hopefully breaking soon. I want to see the dollar break below this range. If the dollar breaks below this range, right here, we actually break down and we pull back, right? And then this is what we call a CB play. This is then the consolidation of the Asian session and London session, the manipulation in New York, and then the expansion to the downside, right? So that could be more bullish for gold. So there is definitely some interest there. Let's see. But hey, let's see, man. Let's just take it with a grain of salt here. Let's just split our risk. I'm gonna split my risk regardless, just to see how it goes. Are there any other live streamers that I'm watching? I mean, there are a couple guys that I know, you know, that I talked with in the past, etc. Right? That I like personally. Have 20 Trade Sharp, of course. Trade Sharp during the London session, right? This guy is always there every day. He has his own way of trading. Trade Sharp, you have Time to Eat. You have Stock Market Sniper, sorry. I like him too. He's a very good explainer as well. Just give you some insights, guys. And the funny thing is, everyone has his own style, you know what I mean? Everyone has his own vibes, his own style, his own sauce. Yeah. So why this zone? Why this exact level? Well, a lot of trapped selling there. A lot of aggressive market participants there. Look at these bubbles. So in these trapped sellers, there was a lot of market buying. All right, so a lot of big players stepped in at around 8, the open, of course. So we're retesting the open. So actually, you could call this the 8-hour candle. You could call this the ORB, actually, today. The opening range breakout retest. Pretty much. That is a trade that I'm looking at right now. The opening trade breakout retest. Opening range breakout retest. It's actually the 8-hour candle right here. And then the breakout, and then the retest of the 8-hour candle. Yep. That's what we're seeing right now here. And you see a lot of market buys here, aggressive buyers stepping in here. So if that level fills, then we have another one below at the 74s, right? That's why I have... Oh, wait, that's a 74. Why is it at 73? 74, sorry. 74. Yeah. Lorenzo, did you do diving in the weekend? Yeah. We did some snorkeling. Not diving, we did some snorkeling. Yeah. I've seen some turtles. Some big ass freaking turtles. Yeah. Very, very beautiful, man. Yeah. One moment you are snorkeling, and the other moment you are back on the streams. That's how it goes. Enjoy both. Melting Trader says stop loss is inshallah. Say wallah. Say wallah. $4,560 is the price to buy. I don't know exactly. On spot. I'm not sure if you trade futures or if you trade spot, right? But what I'm looking at on futures is the 4590. Like I said before, this is the 5-minute time frame. So pay attention to the candle formation and the level. But also, like I said before, only if it makes sense to you. Don't just follow me blindly, right? I could just be a, you know, you don't know me. I could just be a random ass trader that doesn't know how to trade. You don't know that if you watch me for the first time. You need to know what I'm doing here, right? And if it kind of makes sense to you. Lorenzo, for how much money would you jump in the pool right now? Right now? For how much money would I jump into the pool? Nah, not now. Not feeling it. Why is there a difference between the spot price and the futures price? That's a really good question, actually, man. The reason why is the following reason. There are a couple layers to this, okay? The premium on futures might deviate from the spot price, okay? So sometimes if there's a lot of aggressive trading, a lot of aggressive volume happening on futures, then it could deviate in price, for example, right? It could deviate the price, the spot price from like the futures price. So sometimes it's a really big difference. Sometimes it's very similar. It deviates, okay? It's different. Yeah, so do take that in consideration here, okay? So you just have to kind of pay attention to it instead of like, you know, looking at the exact price levels. If you trade spot, for example, that's kind of the idea. But yeah. Yeah, 73 makes sense. And this one also, I have these two levels marked out here. Let's see if we can find some support there. What time is it? It is, ooh, it is 7 minutes before the New York Stock Exchange. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Lorenzo, were you trading spot last week? Nope. I mean, not on the streams. I was trading spot by myself. I traded this morning, actually. I woke up. I traded that pullback. Not sure if you guys can see it. Yep. Powell is talking in, yeah, 1 hour, man. We know. He's talking in 1 hour. He is talking in 1 hour. We know that, yeah. It's true, man. It is true. It is true. I should have increased my risk a little bit, by the way. I don't know why I did this. Like only 2 contracts. I should have taken at least... Wait, let me see here. Yeah, it should have been at least 4. But yeah, it's okay. Is there usually a $30 difference between spot and futures? Nope. It's always different. It's always different. You never know. You always have to check it day by day. That's the annoying part, right? That it's not the exact same, but the candles are the same, right? Yeah, I like spot because I grew up in it, man. I grew up in MetaTrader and stuff. But you know, the more I trade futures, to be really honest with you, the more I start to like it. Yeah, the more I start to like it. Because I'm really getting used to it right now. A lot more, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, well, a lot more. Okay, we're in that trade. Do you see how price reacts from this box, guys? Let me know in the chat if you can see it. It's not a success right away, right? I'm not saying it will be a success, but I'm talking about this initial reaction. Do you see that we're reacting from it? Right there. Why is it right there, right? Why in that area where a lot of selling took place? You see a lot of sellers are trying to short it, but they're unable to kind of pull price down. But anyways, we still have 4 minutes for this closure, right? So you don't know if actually price will respect it or not, if a lot more sellers come in the last 2 minutes, which happens a lot, by the way. But you see at least a reaction. That is usually what you want to see at the beginning of a trade. When you get into a trade like that, you want to see at least a reaction. You know that some participation is there, right? Some buying participation is there. And this is why I've been thinking about also some sort of scalping format where I go in high risk, so high volume, high contract size with a very tight and quick scalp. So a very quick scalping method where you react, you get in, you get out, and you just trade that reaction pretty much. Because I've seen usually price reacting almost like all the time. Like it's just crazy. So why not then hiring or increasing the risk and holding the trade shorter, like shorter duration, right? So that's something I'm still working on as an alternative strategy, for example. And I think that can also work really well in certain market conditions. You know, but that's just a thought process, right? That's something to think about, because I do see the reaction all the time around these levels, right? It's like, it's pretty wild. So anyways, 7.5 points, 75 pips. Keeping it still, not too hard, not too much risk right now. We do have the open in like 3 minutes, right? The New York Stock Exchange. We also have I'm Corrado speaking as well here. It's just about getting in like good entries, having fun, enjoying the stream today. I just came back from the island live here. I'm not burnt, but I'm a bit dehydrated, you could say. Dehydrated is the right word for it. Why is the live have lower people today? Yeah, everyone's saying that, but no, I'm wrecked. Everyone hates me. Yeah, Lorenzo, do you do any mentorships? Nope, not at this moment. Not at this moment. I get this question so much lately, especially since I started to come back on the live streams again. So maybe at some point, right? I have some ideas, some things in mind. I talked about this Friday already, but it will not be a course. I will not sell course. Kind of tired of that, to be honest. You know, I prefer to do things live or in like a live environment. This is where I really thrive. This is something that I learned about myself. I really thrive in these like live environments. You know what I mean? So yeah. I have some ideas, but it will be for a very small group of people. 10, 15 people max. Maybe 10 people max. That's it. That's it. So yeah, that's the only thing that I move forward. I've been in the game for a while right now. You know, creating a video course and all that stuff. I don't think that that's the best way to learn. That's my personal opinion. Because who really learns from a course, right? You go to the course, you learn, you read through it. But you can't ask questions. Like it's just not... It's not the sauce. It's not the original sauce. You need that interaction. You know what I mean? And yeah, and also like a really large group. You know, you don't want to just be a number. That's also not going to be work out. You want to. So there needs to be a cool middle ground here. So yeah, if I would do something, I would do something like that maybe in the future. But keep you posted. We'll keep you in the loop. We have some ideas in the mix. But yeah, of course, it would make money, right? You create a course, you sell it to 1,000 people, and you make a lot of money. Yeah, I get it. But that's not the sauce. You know what I mean? It's not the sauce. All right, so we did close above or kind of above these sellers. I kind of like that again. I do like this. So I want to see a bit of a push here. Don't focus too much on the amount. I went in really low risk right now. But I like the push here. I like the overall reaction here. At least for now, it's a good entry, I think. It's a good entry. It's a good entry. I learn the best while learning from others doing it. I agree. I completely agree. Yeah. Kindly explain your setup. Well, we had a expansion, a pullback, or expansion. We started in a range. We pulled down. We tapped into an area where a lot of selling happened between the 4590 and the 4581. And what happens is that we absorbed these sellers, the aggressive sellers that stepped in here, and we have kind of now some lead through, and hopefully we can have some volume. Okay. And yeah, we are seeing some buyers stepping in here, which I like. Sellers are trying to squeeze price down. They're failing right now to do so, which I like as well. So I like overall the overall premises of what we're seeing here. I do like it. But if there's no volume, there's no volume, right? I mean, that's something I cannot control. We have Jerome Powell speaking. If people are waiting for that, then yeah. Then that will be a bit annoying. But yeah, let's see. You could easily just suddenly get a lot of volume and spike. Who knows? That's what we want to see, right? Breaking structure, of course. But the entry was okay. The entry initially was okay. So now it's up to the market is to say, okay, follow through or no follow through. Sellers are trying to step in, though. You can see it. You can see that sellers are trying. But on the 50-minute, there is definitely some sort of absorption taking place right now here. Do you use a visual stop loss? Yeah. Yeah, right now, yeah. Unless Trump comes out, then I'm screwed. That's actually a good point. Let me just always do that, by the way. Thank you for sharing this. Because just in case, you know. But this is not a stop loss that I would say is my stop loss, okay? Just don't take this for granted. It's okay, that range below is my stop loss. No. It's just about emergency situations, exactly. So thank you for saying that. It's just in case Trump does something, I don't blow my, you know, my whole account or something. You know what I mean? Which is really hard with this lot size, with this contract size anyways. But yeah, you get the point. Yeah, so what we did, we entered right here. We entered right here at this line, this green line. Or let's make it blue. Now we're seeing some volume coming in out of nowhere. You don't see it on the candlesticks, but you do see it in the order flow. Why do you see 4,600 while minus at 46.45? Yeah, today there's a big difference between the futures price and the spot price, right? Just to understand, learn about it, read into it. Ask ChatGPT, what's the difference between futures price and spot price? Why can it be different sometimes? So you understand it, okay? All right, this level is not going to be the right level for now. If we tried to push price, we had a good entry price, respected it, and now it's pulling down. So this is what I'm saying, right? Imagine now, in this example, entering with, let's say, 10 contracts instead, getting out right there, quickly. Boom. 10 contracts, getting out, boom. $1,000. That's definitely something I'm thinking about as well. Because we were up, like, what, 90 pips or something, right? 140. But we still have our second level here, the 74. Yeah, this is the New York Stock Exchange open, right? We knew that, we knew the risk here. Dollar is holding up really well as well. Oil is pushing up higher. 74. We're getting to an undervaluation now. Let's see. All right, we have to swing very high. Okay? So do expect a reaction at the swing very high here. This is why I marked out this level. At least a reaction. Yeah, we have one there, one there. Swing very high. And then we have to put in control. It's all the way down at 45.60. And we'll see. Yeah, so initial reaction, great, no follow through. You can clearly see this right here. So then we have our next zone sitting at 475, 74. But we do have a level in between. This is where we're reacting from right now. So this usually gives you the opportunity to get out on the trade if you don't like it. All right, we're pulling back a bit. Do you never go short? Not now. Not now. All right. Okay, that's the first reaction. We're still seeing some buyers stepping in here. We still have a level below that. Let's see in a lower time frame. Let's go to the 5 minute here. Look at these buyers stepping in. Let's see if we can close this candle at least bullish. Then I'll decide what I do here. You can close break even if you want to right now. Up to you. So don't holla at me if you don't like it. All right, let's see where we close this candle. There we go. We closed above that. Okay, we did close pretty okay. I mean, it could be much worse actually. We're getting to that undervaluation here. We're getting closer and closer at least. Dollar is still strong. Oil is still strong. Oil needs to relax a bit. Dollar bullish, yeah. Powell speaking soon, so be careful, be careful. Dollar resistance now, oil. I want to see reaction here. Dollar is just pumping really hard. This is why here. So let's see what happens at the 74. I did like the 5 minute closure, but this is heavy push down here. So let's see. Lorenzo, why do you support a resistance instead of supply in a month? I use supply in a month on the higher time frame. And I use the volume profile usually on the lower time frame. You can actually see how we reacted from the very high. Okay, well, let's see 75 then. Come on, boy. I'm happy that I closed the trade from the 53s though. This morning. Around here, around the London Open. Okay, we're in the second one. I think we got filled in the second one. Hopefully it was a good choice. We still have a couple of levels in between here. So better not be the manipulation here today. The manipulation to the downside. That would be nasty. What I would love to see now is a flip, a bullish flip. If you can flip this candle bullish on the 5 minute, that would be amazing. That would be really amazing. But yeah, let's see. I'm always thinking, what is the next level? What is potentially the next level? If level A fails, level B fails. And that would be... yeah, it's right below it. It's right below it. It's a 65. It's in that range pretty much, right? So now we better flip here. We better flip here or pull back. Sellers are definitely pushing. Yeah, the next level is the range. The very high is about 68. Okay, so I'm just keep stacking. Yeah, it's just the dollar is pushing really hard right now. That's what's happening. Yeah, I see definitely some buying here. Sellers came in and then initially it looked very, very good. You saw a reaction at the candle, right? Especially around there. We got up around 100 pips and then we came down. At least for the people that didn't trust the trade initially at the 80, what was it? The 90. You could get out of the trade if you wanted to, if you didn't trust it. But this is obviously up to you. I have my stop there at 52, but I do expect still a reaction here. So even in like a worst case scenario, I almost feel that I'm always kind of be able to manage the trade in a way where I could get out or get a bounce or something. But we do have to deal with some news with Jerome Powell, etc. Yeah, Lorenzo, I really liked how you went through all the trades Friday. Yeah, exactly. And this is what we're going to do every week. We're going to go through all the setups, all the trades, wins, losses, everything. Okay, we're reacting from the very high, the fixed very high. But now we have some work to do, man, to be honest with you. Now we have to break back above the 90s. If you do that this time, we are in profit already with 2 contracts. We're in profit already around, you know, $200, you know, and then from there onwards to the highs, it's already 600, and then we'll go from there, right? It's already it's picking up quite quickly. You get a lot of opportunities, you know. You can always get out on the trade. If you don't like the trade, you can always push. This is why I like to slowly scale in, because it allows me to manage the trade a bit better. So yeah, let's see if we can actually this time push back to at least the 80s. What's happening with YouTube? Yeah, the views are up. Like it's hard for me to say what's going on, man. I don't know. It's happening on all the streamers. All the streamers have the same issue. Okay, so it's not just me. All right, just so you know. I have no idea what actually says. I don't see any analytics either in the background or the back end. Okay, I just see how many subscribers we had. That's the only thing I can see. The amount of subscribers that we had today. Or not. Can I also not see that either? Yeah. There. Exactly. So we gained around 150 subscribers or 160 subscribers so far. In around an hour and a half, right? Something like that. So it's like, but YouTube is acting a bit strange. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Okay, this is where you want to see buyers stepping in, right? This is where you want to see push, but at least back to the 80s. But sellers are definitely pushing down. They might go for the lows now. I'm not liking it anymore, to be honest with you, because every push gets absorbed. Yo, Lorenzo, can I be one of your clippers? Yes, if you want to. If you are able, if you know how to do it correctly, if you have some, if you have some ideas around it, let me know. There are a couple things that I can do. I can clip around with some. I can work with like a company that does it, or I can just work with some guys in a server. You know what I mean? That would be better. What are some ideas? My wins, of course. My losses. Some lessons, right? Some entertaining content, whatever it is. There's always something happening on the streams. Hey Lorenzo, we are bearish. Oh, really? You're joking. You're joking. Ahmed says, my wife does a lot of content creation for other businesses. I thought to reach out. Okay, cool. Lorenzo, we are losing. You're joking. You gotta be kidding me. I can't see that. I only see us winning here. Look, it's going up. What about your risk? Yeah, well, luckily I kept my risk very small. We had some momentum. I could have got out here already earlier. We had some momentum here, but we're now at the point of control. So I picked my levels for the right reasons, hopefully. And hopefully we can find some follow through. This 50-minute candle needs to incorporate some buyers. But you can see that all the buyers stepping in right now are getting absorbed. So you need to see like a 5-minute candle that flips bullish. You need to see a lot of selling happening in that 5-minute candle, and then you need to close above that. That's what you want to see. That gives me always the hope that we actually bounce. But yeah, we have a stop loss there for a reason, right? That's it. And then I will wait for Trump. Oh, sorry, not Trump. Jerome Powell, probably. All right, we have arrived in that 4-hour zone. It's a serious level, man. It's a serious freaking level. That's why my stop loss needs to be actually at the 49. Sorry. 49. It has to be here. Right below this area. 49. There we go. Stop loss is also need the part we need to accept for sure. I think we're finally moving back, or not? Is it working again? No, it's not working again. Nah, YouTube is dead. YouTube is out. Something's happening here. Poor YouTube. What's going on? I was thinking about streaming on Kick, by the way. Some people told me about Kick. I'm like, okay. Let me make an account. I haven't really tried it yet. Yeah, I tried once. But I don't think it was perfect. So I need to figure out how we can stream on Kick and YouTube very well. That would be very, very nice if I could do that, actually. Why not, right? Why not multi-stream or something like that, right? Trading is not allowed on Kick? You're serious? You're joking. You're joking. So you can literally play the online freaking casino on Kick, right? Do whatever the fuck you want to do on Kick. You can gamble the shit out of yourself there, but you can't trade. Is that for real? Nah, you're joking. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Is that really true? Damn. Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, no way that you cannot trade on Kick. Right? That doesn't make any sense. All right, yields are dropping. Interesting, man. Dollar is just pushing hard. Yields are dropping. There is something happening. This is a typical manipulation. I call this a manipulation, and the reason why is not because of the gold chart right now. Okay, it has nothing to do with the gold manipulation. It's the dollar and the yield. Look at that. The yield is dropping super hard. The dollar is pumping. Okay, there's a deviation between the dollar and between the yield. Usually they run very similar. But guess what? Guess who's speaking in around 30 minutes? Guess who is speaking in around 30? It is Jerome, Mr. Jerome Powell. Okay? So there's something boring. Something is happening here. Something is happening right now. Yields down. Dollar up, oil, pushing down a little bit, finding that resistance. There. The VIX is dropping. Nah, this is definitely an unusual. This is a pre-market. This is something happening here. Why did you buy it on an all-time high? An all-time high. Bro, we dropped like 30%. Yeah, yields dropping hard right now. Yeah, right before. So, if Joe Powell speaking, I'll just look lower. I'll wait for price to get down at a 50 and I'll look for potential new entry lower. To be honest. I'm willing to take a couple hits today if needed, to be honest. But let's see. We're holding above the point of control now. And the swing point of control. We have 2 levels. So I do want to respect this level, of course. That would be the ideal. We're finding that support here a little bit. But buyers are not really willing to step in yet. Or they are, but they're getting absorbed. So looking pretty weak right now. Lorenzo, I don't think Jerome Powell speaking will not be formal kind of speaking. It's a discussion of form instead of university. Yeah, I know, right? But it's the anticipation, right? It's always the anticipation of that, pretty much. Yeah, the anticipation of the of Mr. Jerome Powell speaking. It's usually not even about him speaking. It's always about, oh, he is speaking. Red folder. That's kind of the idea behind it. Yeah, but if you break down, if you actually break down here, right? You pull back, you break down, you break below that range. That is a typical reversal pattern, right? We cannot neglect this. Like right now, to be honest with you. We have the range. Then here was a manipulation here. We got initially in for the continuation, but we broke down. So if we now pull back and we break down further, yeah, then I have to look for I have to might change up my buys here in a pullback. Okay, so I'm gonna take this hit here. Let me write it down. I think it's $500 loss. So it's not too bad. Okay. Okay. Let's accept it and move forward. Let's see. Okay, let's look at the, let's see how we close this. Jerome Powell speaking when? 30 minutes. Yeah, right before the hourly closure right now. So we close below this. So this will most likely already turn into resistance. The 63. The 64. This could already turn into resistance right now as well here. Large push down. 63, 64, yeah. This is where buyers got stuck in their trade. So this could act as a resistance right now. We broke below the point of control. So we could easily see something like this. We find resistance and just sell after the previous daily for a high in the short term. We are undervalued now though, right? We are seeing an undervaluation, so we need to cool down. We need to fight that resistance. Give away some profits from the Asian session. Yeah, this is what I mean. We already find resistance right now, right away, at the swing POC here. This is exactly this level here, the 15-minute, the 5-minute. Nasty before Jerome Powell. The 63. Interesting market behavior, especially because if the dollar right now, right, the dollar is pushing up really hard. The yield is dropping really hard. Consistently right now. So there is a deviation between the dollar and the yield. Oil is in resistance now. The VIX is down, the NQ is also dropping. I did spike up, okay. I was already confused about that too. Interesting. Aaron says, thank God I quickly scalped gold got out before the reversal. Yeah, this is what I'm also thinking about later on. In these market conditions, man, to get into scalps, higher risk, shorter profit targets. But for now, let's observe what happens around the 63 here. That's what I'm very curious about right now. Because the previous daily very low is a serious level here, and we are breaking below major resistance right now. Am I willing to take that risk? Sellers are coming in already, you see that? What would be your target? Yeah, the thing is, the 4, 5, 10. We already below that level 2. Yeah, the 4, 5, 20 and the 4, 5, 10. So, yeah, this zone, if we do manage to get rejected here, I might flip my buys here. Give it one more try. If I get wrecked there too today, I'm done for today, to be honest. I'm really done for today. Dus that will be... But I first need to see that sellers are actually trying to enter here, because otherwise it's a major move before Jerome Powell speaking. It's just a manipulation before Jerome Powell. All right, we're now at the 63s there. Struggling. Yeah, this is that area, right, where buyers stepped in. So I'm actually just gonna give it a shot, man. I'm gonna give it a try. See if we can target the 20s. That's it. I'm gonna give it one more shot today, and that's it. I'm gonna keep it very, very tight here today, guys. I'm not gonna do too much today. Okay. Just gonna see if we can drop further. This looks like a clear manipulation to the downside. See me play. Buyers are coming in here. They're failing to break that level. So I could already put my stop loss at like 69, for example, right? Keep it very tight. Which is like, yeah. Right there above, pretty much. Right, that's the only thing I would be looking at, because, yeah, that's mainly the level that I don't want to be broken or close above, at least. I can play around with this a bit. And if you can close above, then I'm done for today, because then I'm just gonna observe today and that's it. Not gonna take too many hits. And then come back tomorrow again. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a shot at least, because I can see the structure shifting, and I'm, like I said, if I'm wrong about a buy, and I'm wrong about a buy market, for example, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be not being able to shift my bias. Okay? When I say, hey, listen, my initial plan doesn't work out here, can I now break down and actually get to the 20s, which is a major level, and actually get, you know, that pushback or something? Let's see. And if not, that's it for today for me. Keep it a short session today. We had a long day. Did you revenge trade? No, not really. Still makes sense in my opinion. I would not take a trade if I don't think it makes sense, right? It's pretty much this setup, right? Something like that. Bro, your viewers are climbing and now you want to stop? I don't think these are the accurate viewers. There's an issue with YouTube. Yeah, we had that closure above this hourly, right? Below this hourly resistance. This is also a major layer. That's why stop loss should actually be at 72.73. That would be the ideal. Oh, it is there. It actually is at 72, 72.5, something like that. No, so that's correct, pretty much. I did. All right, come on. Where is my stop? 71.8. If I get hit again, then I'm done for today, guys. I'm gonna leave it for today because it's gonna be a session like that today. I'm out. I'm not gonna deal with it. We'll look for another day. But I'm definitely willing to say, listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yields are dropping again. Dollar is still pushing higher. Now gold is not reacting. Nasty. Next candle will fall hard and retrace back up. What do you think about Axis? I don't know, man. I don't know what Axis is. Whereas, what happened to your views? Yeah, and everyone, no one watches me anymore because I lost today. No, I'm joking. Nah, it's a YouTube issue right now. I think all the streamers have the same issue right here. It's actually, if I'm correct, there's like a 0 missing or something like that. How can we get your indicators any chance? I might do some giveaways in the future. I'm planning to do a lot of giveaways as well on the channel right away, right? I promised a lot of guys to do giveaways on the channel. We have fun at next challenges, which I've always did give away fun at next challenges because they're, you know, one of the most reliable firms out there. It's better to give someone a challenge, for example, than money. I don't think giving money is like the way to go, right? Doesn't make any sense. But if you give someone a challenge, at least you give someone the opportunity, right? To make money. So yeah, a couple things in my mind. It's about to go down. Should I just paper trade and focus on gaining knowledge as a beginner? I think you should always start out with the foundation. I agree. I think you should always do that. Always. All right. Lorenzo, are you on the vote? Almost, so I have to be a bit aware of that as well. But bro, today, I don't even want to talk about it. Thank you for the 500 likes, my G's. You guys are the best. Appreciate you. Regardless, always supporting the channel. Your boy is having a bad day. I can see it already. I mean, today was actually amazing. It started out amazing because I predicted the freaking bottom. And I traded it to the London Open. But this session is not my session, definitely not. Right, we close back up. That's not a good sign. Technique, brother. This is real life, my G. No problem, bro. Nice. Sometimes it goes against. It's no worries. Yes, 100%. Yeah, let's see. We have Jerome Powell speaking around what, 50 minutes? Yeah. We're back in our box. We're back in our green box. And my stop loss is above it. All right? My stop loss is above it. Stop loss is above the box right here. You can see how important this zone is, right? Crucial level. Crucial level. And we're back in profit. In the book, wouldn't you say that the London has done the manipulation, now the reverse real move is happening? Yeah, well, in this case, you can actually see that the London lows are not taken out yet, right? As well as the Asian lows, and we are trading towards the London lows, which are sitting at 4543, right? I would love to see this getting taken out and then secure myself, something like that. At least go for the London lows. After the Asian highs, the London highs already been taken out, right? During the open. So initially I was like continuation play. Now we reverse. We broke below the point of control, the very high. We're turning that into resistance. So at least give us a chance to take out the London low so I can manage my trade. That's what I want to see now. You can see how buyers are trying to break out. They're failing there. That's why my stop loss is above it. Right, so I know where to place the stop and where I'm wrong, if I'm wrong. Boom. Come on, break down then. Break down. That would be nice. 12 minutes for Paul. Shit. All right, these buyers. As long as that level stays in control, then it's they were okay. On the hourly time frame, it's major resistance. The 30-minute is resistance. The 1 hour is resistance. Sellers are coming in on the 1 hour right now. Look at that, right? You see that we're trading below it. So, you know, I think the sell buys was okay. It's just a tricky timing of the market right now. The dollar is still ripping. It's just a tricky timing. And what we want is to close below the very low. At the 53s. That's what we want to see right now. Yeah, let's see. Hey Lorenzo, is it true that the US reverses the London move majority of the time? Not necessarily always. And also not necessarily the majority of the time either, actually. It all depends in the right context. Yeah, price really needs to freaking break here, man. It's holding up. It's holding up way too long, in my opinion. It's like I feel I'm in the right entries. Like I feel that I take the right entries today, but I just see that no freaking follow through right here. I even felt very comfortable here with the reaction initially, perfect entry price, but then there is no follow through as well here. So yeah, this was nasty, of course. And if it now would turn around, it would be even nastier. But again, I'm not unhappy with the trade. To be honest with you, I'm not unhappy with it. Yeah, you see sellers coming in, buyers stepping in, they're failing, right? They're failing. Hi mate, what's your playlist? I'm gonna share my playlist very soon. Okay? Very soon. All right. I'm almost there. I want to have 100 tracks on my playlist, guys. 100 tracks, and then I'll move them all over to Spotify, okay? I promise. Then I move them all over to Spotify. I promise. All right? Okay, let's break down here. Let's continue to break. This is what you want to see now, right? Get to the previous daily value area high, the 20, the 21. That's what we really want to see now. No wick reversal Fugazi flip. No reversal manipulation distribution Wagyu beef. medium rare contribution direction. In the freaking Vivo. Oh my god. It's great that you change your buys after hitting stop loss with no ego, trading the reversal down. Well, I agree, actually. And I have actually no ego in terms of that, to be honest. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I also am not a big fan of that buy up here. We are literally like, what, 7 minutes away now from Jerome Powell? You know how it goes when these things come out, right? These speeches and stuff, how price could just do its thing again. But in terms of entry, yeah, like I said, I like my entries. I'm not wrong. I don't dislike my entries here. Similar to there. And also the actual stop loss placement above that zone, because we know why. We know that that zone is a major area. But if there's no follow through, there's simply no follow through. So I think the real move happens, I think, in like an hour. Or like 30, 35 minutes. Lorenzo, show me your analytics. YouTube. I mean, I can't see it right now. There's a glitch in views and everything. The only thing that's correct, I think, are the likes and the subscribers. But even that I can't see. I can't even see that. Which broker are you using? Tradeovate. Lorenzo, what do you think about exiting? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty shitty, isn't it, right now? Yeah, we did close below these sellers here. This is the 15-minute. Let's look at the 15. The 15-minute is still respecting that resistance now as well. We closed in 3 minutes. Yeah. We're getting to an undervaluation now as well. The dollar is also getting to an overvaluation. It's getting really trickier, guys. But imagine closing and then it plays out here. So nasty. What is my risk? So I lost around what, 500 on that trade. It's around 300 risk. I mean, I can't take the risk. I can't handle the risk, to be honest, right? It's not like that. It's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. Would you then buy here? Maybe I would. You know what I mean? If he would come down here, I might actually look for a buy again. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. If price would get there, I think it's a really healthy pullback for a buy at the 20s, funny enough. So I would be shorting it towards the buy. pretty much, right? That was my whole idea, is to just wait for price to get there, at least set a buy limit there again. And then we'll take out what? The Asian lows? Not the Asian lows, the London lows. Take out the London lows, pull back, and then look for a buy again. That was actually the idea. After we broke down, I realized, okay, if that's the case, we might have to actually drop lower and then get back towards that 20 level, 21 level, and then look for a buy again. So yeah, that was my thought process right now. But yeah, I'm not saying we're looking strong. We're just seeing that absorption here. A lot of consolidation as well. So that's not really what you want to see, right? So there are two things I can do here. I can exit and set a buy limit here, and if it gets there, it gets there. Or I can just leave the trade, take the risk, and just see what happens. And then, regardless, pay attention to the 20 anyways later on the session. Something like that. Dollar is still pushing. It's unbelievable. Yeah, we need to close this 50-minute candle below the value low, in my opinion. The 53. And not above. Guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna close right above it. Right. You will see. Right above the 53. You will see. In the last 5 seconds. How does this make sense? Oil up, dollar down, dollar up, oil down. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, the market is a bit off today. You can see it in the whole sector, the commodity sector, as well as the dollar and the yield are also completely different here. Okay, we did close below the very low. That gives me at least somewhat of a reason to stay in the trade potentially here in the short term. And not directly get out, but pay attention to what happens here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take the risk, guys. That's my honest opinion. Is to say my gut feeling is telling me, take the risk, accept the loss today, accept that it's not your day if it goes wrong today. And if price gets down to the 21s, maybe try again to enter long. If price gets there, of course. Powell's live. Powell. Let's see where he is. Powell live. Is he live right now? Yeah, he should be. He should be. Not yet. At least not from what I can see now. So let's oh yeah, that can only do when the video is playing here. Yeah, we'll see when he's live, when he's actually live here. We'll see. Yeah, pow, pow, pow. Move your stop loss? Nah. No need to move the stop. It's either break even or stop needs to be there, in my opinion, the 72. It makes sense to me. It's a good level to set my stop at. 72 is roughly speaking. Yeah. Yeah, we just don't want to drop here, right? We don't want to drop here. We don't want to drop. We don't want to come down. This has been the what? The 50-minute, 30-minute. We're hovering around pretty much, hovering around this price. And Joel Powell speaking in what? 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. He started talking already. Oh, I don't even see it. Oh, really? Okay, right here. Okay. Okay, I'll pay attention to this. All right, let's see what happens.
Earned a Bachelor of Arts in Politics in 1975. He then attended Georgetown University Law Center. While earning his law degree, he also served as editor-in-chief of the Georgetown Law Journal, one of the world's most influential and prestigious legal publications. He then started a career of extraordinary impact and breadth. He distinguished himself first in the private sector, working in investment banking and private equity.
Yeah, this guy worked his way to the freaking top, that's for sure. All right, Joel, what do you want from us? Talk to me. What do you want from me today? Talk to me. Dollar is slowing down. Yield. Negative correlation now. So strange, man. Oil pulling back up again. That's what you want to see, right? Oil pulling back up again now in this case. You want to see oil pushing up. Finding that support here. Especially because oil is actually a perfect example. Yeah, pretty much what we're looking for right now. A rejection of the point of control or the very high. Right there. So I do like that. I do like that. I do like this rejection overall. But I don't like gold hanging around our entry now for like, I don't know how long. Look at what's going on here. Okay, let's look at the order flow here. 30-minute is still down. The 50-minute is in that resistance here. Sellers to control there. We're still below that. The volume is coming down a little bit, but yeah, now Joe Powell speaking, so. The 5-minute is the most clear. And the 1 hour is the most clear. It's the 1 hour that's the most clear. And the 5-minute. Save yourself? Nah, man, I'm just gonna leave it. I accept defeat today. Like, Sometimes you just have to accept your defeat if you're wrong. And today could be one of those days, at least this session, right? I nilled the Asian session already. But the New York, if it is what it is, then it is just what it is. Screwed on both sides, if that's the case. People always say, yeah, it's a buy, but they always say it when it's like, when we're in profit, when we're not in profit. Say it when we're done. Say it when we're in profit, or when we're in profit, not when I'm in drawdown, right? You know what I mean? Guys, the 4543 was my limit. Yeah, a lot of people were looking at the 53 today. I'm really happy that a lot of people actually bought it there from Friday, the Friday stream. I'm very happy about that. That's good. But the New York has absolutely wrecked me today. I'm not liking it at all. And we're back at our box. Again. Our green box. Look at that. Like that box gives me hope, man. That box gives me true hope here. I'm not joking. That green box gives me hope. Guess what? It's the yeah, that green box, that gives me always that extra layer of hope. Especially when you see sellers stepping in again at that box, but there seems to be a large absorption right now, so it's really 50-50. It's really mixed right now. Pivot says it will hit your TP in the next, or you stop in the next, your stop or your TP? 100%. Man, that box is insane though, right? Yeah, it's insane. There was a really strong buying here, and this is why it's holding so strong. And this is where a lot of sellers step in, usually. And you can see it every time we tap into this, sellers step in. Sellers come into the market here. So there is definitely selling activity here. Sellers are waiting to step in here. But there is no follow. There's no really follow through. So we're just talking like that range for like the past, I don't know, 45 minutes now. And we flip bearish again on the 5 minutes. And we're back above it again. And we're back above it again. Look at that box. It's the green box. When people say order flow is fake, bro, try it, man. Give it a try. Does it automatically turn you into a guru? No, it doesn't. Does it help you at certain levels? Absolutely. Man, I'm so curious to this hourly candle, man. And where we will close. I'm actually really curious if we can close below the 56 or above the 63. I mean, what's better than this? Watching candlesticks ranging for the past 45 minutes or watching the Titanic with your girlfriend? I'm joking. Obviously, we know the answer already. Lorenzo, let's hope Uncle Jerome Powell is getting ready to enjoy his peaceful retirement life and be nice to the market during the next few months, at least. Hey, who knows? You know what this new guy will bring to the table. You know, who knows what this guy will bring to the table? At least we know what we got. And that's Uncle Jerome. All right, so now we're seeing that selling pressure coming in again. The box saved us again for now. Let's see where we can close this 5-minute candle, which is also the 15-minute candle. That's important. We have around 1 second for that closure, and we closed it, okay? That is in essence, that's important. That is important. So now you want to flip this candle, this 5-minute candle bearish. Eventually, you want to flip bearish and follow through here and break the lows of that previous 5-minute candle. Nice house. Where do you live? Thank you, my G. I appreciate this. I live in Bali. For the past 5 years. Dun, 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 dun. And we're back. Yeah, for everyone who's in the trade, if you don't like it, just get out, right? Like, it's simple. Just get out. Just get out. Don't hate the player, right? Hate the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Pivot says, amateurs will be selling. Don't be like that. Well, I'm technically not a professional. In retrospect. Basti says $308 billion wiped out from stocks in just 30 minutes as markets open the same thing over and over again. Oof. Look at that. Look at the IQ. Yeah, horrible. Horrible. The reversal is happening soon. Yeah, 100% has to be. Look at the valuation coming up here already. While we have been in a range. And we're going. Yeah, fuck that for today. Sorry for my words. That guy who said it's coming soon was right, by the way. That the reverse is happening soon. You were completely correct. Okay, that's it, G's. I'm out for today. Done. Done. Cooked. Done. Out. That's it for me. All right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate you guys. I've tried it 2 times here. Watch price now go to this entry at the 20s. That would be even more. That would be hilarious. Price would actually get there. 2-0, 0-2, I could better say. No, 2-1. Because the Asia session was great. And New York, not so good. All right. I'm going to keep it short, guys, today. I'm not going to continue the process here. I'm not going to force anything any longer. I know when to stop trading. And for me, this is now. Okay, I don't want to force it to continue the trading session if I... yeah, we're not going to endlessly continue to trade if I don't see it, I don't feel it. Especially after my buy has been invalidated 2 times. So, that's not what I'm going to do here. Okay? But I will be back anyways. This is going to be every day. Regardless. So, you will see days like this as well where I get wrecked. That's also part of the journey. Okay? So that is showing you the sides, the real sides of trading. I hope you understand this. At least the real G's will get it. That's for sure. So tomorrow I'm going to be back again. I'll do the same thing over. Start at the higher time frame, move down to the lower. Start off with some entries. Set my limit orders and then go from there. After that breakdown, I wanted to give it a shot. But we have been ranging. We're pretty much flat right now. Do I really want to try to trade it down? I don't really feel to get involved again and give it another shot here. Especially not now. Not now. When Jerome Powell is speaking and when the market is a bit off. I can see it. I can see the yield dropping. Dollar is holding up. Oil is neutral. I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. Okay? All right. Let me know what the chat is thinking. That's like liquidity sweep. Come back down. Canada's have million moves is a good place. Okay. It's pocket change for you. That's likely liquidity sweep. Yeah, we did kept our risk very, very small though. That was a good part. We already kind of anticipated this here, so it was true. We kept our risk very, very small overall today. So yeah, we managed the trade. In terms of risk, we did. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for today. I'm going to be back tomorrow again. You've seen some live action. This is what you wanted, right? You wanted to see some live action. Well, here you got it. Okay. Hope you guys are doing well here. Looking forward. I probably have to now watch the Titanic with my girlfriend. So that's what I'm going to do. Watch the Titanic with my girlfriend. That's the conclusion after today's session. So yeah, you guys already know what I have to do here. Okay? Perfect. Well, let's at least end with a banger. See you tomorrow again. Let's see if the YouTube issues fixed as well tomorrow. Okay. I do appreciate the 641 likes. And I appreciate the support in general. So I'm going to be back tomorrow again. Much love, guys. And yeah, should I do a full breakdown of analysis? You know what? Like I said before, I'm just... Okay, maybe. The 20s, okay, is an important level that I do want you to pay attention to. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Pay attention to the 21 on futures. This is the previous daily very low. Why is this an important level? Well, if you go here and you mark out this previous zone here, and you mark out yesterday's session, or sorry, Friday's range, watch what happens around the 21, okay? The previous daily value area high. I still have something in mind here, okay? So I'm gonna pay attention to what happens around this level here. I'm not gonna give you too much context around it, but pay attention to this. Tomorrow I'm gonna be back with a full breakdown. Today I just want to say, okay, I lost this New York session. I gave back some of my profits from the Asian session, actually the majority. All right, not everything. I'm still up, but I definitely gave back some profits today in this New York session. So I'm gonna keep it like that, okay? Gonna be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for all the support. You guys are amazing regardless, and I really appreciate the support here. And let's get back tomorrow when Uncle Jerome is not speaking, and we'll get back to hopefully some more clear sentiment in the marketplace. All right, peace. I think that makes a lot of sense here. Okay, cool, guys. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the action, though. Peace.